Okay, so I'm a little bit of a newbie electrician. However, I want to give you guys a little bit of a basic comprehension of electrical units. Because, again, I'm just going to warn you, this is not professional, but this is a thing or a video made to get you into the units. So, let's get started. Okay, so you're going to hear about, oh, what is a hertz? What's a volt? What's an amp? What's an ohm? Okay, let's get started. First of all, volts is an electromotive force. Imagine as the power, as the force behind electricity. 1.5 volts is a little bit low strength. Meanwhile, 120 volts is a little bit heavier. I wouldn't say high strength, not like tens of thousands of volts on the power lines. Then you got amps. Amps measures current, how much electricity flows through the wire. I like to think of amps like water. A lot of amps, a little bit of amps. Next is resistance. Of course, resistance to electrical flow. So wire has a little bit low resistance, where some components will have heavier resistances. So think about, the opposing force to electricity. You can increase resistance by, of course, increasing resistance or just lengthening the wire. Although lengthening wire is very, very bad way to increase resistance because, of course, wire does not have that much resistance. Resistance is measured in ohms. Next is hertz. Hertz is the amount of times the electricity or the magnetic field of electricity will alternate a second. For example, I live in the United States of America. Here, our magnetic forces around our wires alternate 60 times a second. If you live in the UK watching this, they're going to alternate at 50 times a second. So to my UK, Mexican neighbors, you're at 50 hertz, and to us in America, we're at 60. Fun fact, for every hertz you get is 1 frame per second, which is why in America, a lot of TVs are 60 frames a second. So if you want to increase your FPS, increase your frequency or hertz. Next is watts. Watts is the amount of electricity you use. You can get watts by multiplying volts and amps together. You definitely want to start using watts to see how much power you're using. So for example, this fridge runs at 115 volts at 4.75 amps. Multiplied together, we get 546 watts. Another subunit is watt hour. For example, if you have a 1 watt appliance, it consumes 1 watt of power. If you run it for an hour, you consume 1 watt hour. 1,000 watts is a kilowatt. 1,000 kilowatt hours is a kilowatt hour. So for example, the fridge I have consumes 546 watt hours an hour. You can take this, convert to kilowatt hours, and see how much you pay for electricity. In Illinois, we pay 15 cents a kilowatt hour.